Listen, you're probably sick of hearing the expression two-tier policing by now, but please bear with me. I know it's a term we've become massively familiar with over the past week, firstly because of the reaction to the Southport murders, but also in response to various riots by various factions across the UK. Now, it seems, despite Keir Starmer's lack of desire to talk about it, and the police commissioner deciding to, rather than enter into discourse with a journalist, instead snatch away the microphone when he was questioned on the very subject, someone has come out and spoken openly and honestly, albeit maybe not deliberately, and confirmed the fact that two-tier policing is indeed real. In response to the recent disruption in Birmingham, which saw groups of Asian men take to the streets and cause disruption in various ways. I shared some videos in a previous video. Superintendent Emlyn Richards, who is of the West Midlands Police, basically came out and issued this statement, which I think, if we read between the lines, very much states that two-tier policing is in fact real and indeed actively acted upon.
Because we were aware through intelligence that there was a potential protest through that misinformation yesterday, we had the opportunity to meet with community leaders, with business leaders, prior to that event to kind of understand the style of policing that we needed to deliver during the course of that operation. So we knew that there was going to be a large amount of people out on that counter-protest. We knew who the vast majority of those people were. We'd had conversations in terms of what that was likely to look like. And so our policing response was commensurate to that intelligence and the information that we'd held with our partners and communities prior to that event taking place. What I would say is that the vast majority of people that attended that protest yesterday did so law-abidingly, and they did it with the right intentions. There were just a small minority of people that attended there and were intent on causing either criminality, disorder or fear within our communities.
In his statement, Emlyn there does seem to suggest that rather than proactively police the demonstrations and what were perceived to be initially counter-demonstrations by the Asian and Muslim communities in Birmingham, instead he let them manage themselves. He let them effectively police themselves. He spoke to community leaders, which is always a term I'm never totally sure what that exactly means. But he spoke to community leaders, discussed how the policing should go, and basically asked them, how would you like us to police this? To which it seems they must have responded, not at all. We don't want any police presence, because if we watch the videos of the young man being attacked outside a pub, or we see the cars tearing around the streets, tearing around the roundabouts, we see the people, the innocent couple being attacked in their car, and various other examples, we can see there is absolutely no police presence. At what point did we get from Keir Starmer's tough on crime, smashing crime, hundreds of officers, hundreds of boots on the street, banging on doors in dawn raids, locking up anyone who was deemed to be violent, and then when it comes to maybe a different faction, they give the community leaders the opportunity to dictate what level of policing, and in this case the level was 0, is undertaken around their own protests or their own demonstrations, or what they were suggesting would be a response, a counter-protest or protection in light of a far-right thuggery attack which never actually materialised. Right, sorry to stop the video there. Just want to quickly ask a very, very big favour. If you like these videos, do please hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. And if you change your mind and you get bored of me rambling on about random things, you can always unsubscribe at any time. Also, if you appreciate the videos, there will be a link in the description to buy me a beer. Yes, the URL says buy me a coffee, but we all know, don't we? Anyway, back to the video. This seems to me to be an absolute admission to the fact that two-tiered policing is proactively acted upon by, in this instance, the West Midlands Police, but almost certainly more widely across the police service. We only need to look at one more example just to cement the fact that this two-tier policing is indeed real. This morning we have seen lots of dawn raids on addresses for people who have been identified as antagonists and violent in the previous riots. One guy who has been arrested for punching a police officer has been immediately sentenced to 3 years in prison, and I think I would probably echo the sentiments of virtually everyone when I say that's absolutely the right thing to do. And the fact that he has gone from being identified to being charged to being sentenced so quickly is actually a testament to our judiciary system and the fact that we can process people that quickly. But Given that that seems like it's a fair cop, and if you do act in a violent way, and if you do assault a police officer or a member of the public, then you should be dealt with firmly. Where does that leave the two guys who, as far as we're aware, are still free, at the very least on bail, who committed the attacks against the police officers at Manchester Airport, leaving a female police officer with a broken nose? They are still free to go and carry out press conferences and talk about how they are the victims of police brutality. Now, the verdict is still out on the police officer who seemingly kicked the guy who was under control in the head at the Manchester Airport incident. But none of that is to negate what went before, which was a violent attack on 3 police officers by these guys, including one which left a female officer with a broken nose. That is violence against police, but yet these people are still yet to be processed. So how come in one instance we can get someone from committing an offence, which is an offence and should be punished to the full force of the law, and get them sentenced within a matter of, well, you can measure it in hours, to 2 similar cases where they've been caught on video, banged to rights, but they are still free to be out there protesting their innocence and protesting that they are indeed victims? We can only comment on what we believe the reason that differential exists to be. Stay safe and sane, everyone.